Hi everyone, Simon McKinley here, Monday the 17th of December. Got an update on the long range forecast for you. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Remember, we kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here, and by you coming back and using the website and using the adverts, that's what keeps us free of charge. When you click on an advert, it generates revenue for us. That's what means that we can keep this site going and not charge you a penny for it. As I say, just updating you on the long ranges now, and been lots of them coming through overnight. In fact, I've been up all night watching them coming. Let me just show you a few. This is the CFS for Birmingham, and you notice here the dates running along the bottom here. So we're going from the 16th of December, so from yesterday right the way through to the end of January here. And what I wanted to point out to you is these red dots here and this red line, okay, that you can see here going up and down. This is maximum temperatures, and what I want you to notice here, a couple of things. One is the CFS picking up on the fall off of temperature around about the 25th, 26th, so around Christmas Day. Look, it brings it off and brings it off into the beginning part of January. Then what it does, it lifts it up in the early part of January before this big plunge that comes in here around about the 15th, 16th. Now the CFS has been pretty constant in wanting to do this. It's been varying in its dates. It's been going from about the 9th through to about the 14th, but it's always wanted to bring temperatures off during this period, and then look, it takes them off to be maximum temperatures of around about 3 or 4 degrees. So certainly seeing a cold period stuck in here. So again, I think we're still going to stick with this idea of some nippier weather coming through during January. Now, first model that's just come in is the ensemble from the Japanese Meteorological Agency, and the chart that we're interested in, well, the two charts we're interested in are this one and this one. Okay, this is the forecast for January. So this is their forecast for the whole of January, and the blue colours here, look, the British Isles is up here, top right hand corner. Excuse me, blue colours there in the rainfall field indicate that we've got above normal rainfall totals through January. Now what's also showing is here we've got the 500 millibar flow. The blue colours showing us where the heights are lower than normal, and you notice how much lower than normal they are across the UK, how much higher than normal they are across the Atlantic, and the effect of this is to strengthen that jet stream coming through the British Isles, hence the reason for seeing above normal totals of rainfall. Now for February, what they've gone for is similar conditions really. What they've pulled in for February is rainfall totals above normal across much of the UK. You can see them there, although Scotland just below normal, but for much of the UK got above normal totals, not drastically so, but still above normal. And they're also bringing much lower heights than normal again in the jet stream flow here in the 500 millibar height. So again, keeping that westerly flow dominant. And then for March, what do we see for March? Well, again, wetter than normal across western coast of the country, but you notice here off towards the many central and eastern areas that they actually keep us drier than normal. And interestingly, in the 500 millibar flow, they're weakening off the jet. Look, they're putting the strongest jet out here in the Atlantic, whilst actually weakening off the jet across the British Isles, putting heights back down to normal. So excuse me, perhaps we're seeing an improvement of sorts according to the Japanese model through the course of March, having had some quite wet weather through January and February. Now the Brazilian model, this is for the whole of the winter period, so this is from December running through to the end of February, and this is anomalous precipitation. So this is where it sees precipitation, and you notice how across the British Isles it's actually keeping precipitation around normal. Puts in some wetter slots down towards the south, look, through France, through northern parts of Spain, but it keeps the British Isles generally with near normal rainfall totals throughout the winter period. As far as temperatures go, well, it keeps us in near normal temperatures, and temperatures just above normal slightly across western coasts of the country. And for sea level pressure, this is the -2 millibar sea level pressure line running through here, and what it does here is it gets pressures lower across anywhere really across Europe. It's keeping pressures lower than normal for winter throughout the whole of this area. Now what do we take from this? Well, when we put it together with the Japanese model, it kind of stacks up that they're both going for this dominant westerly flow, lower pressures than normal, lower heights than normal, because with lower heights you would expect lower pressures, and therefore you would excuse me, generally expect it to be wetter than normal, although of course the Brazilian go for near normal, so you would expect it to be generally around normal or wetter than normal rainfall. Now what does the UK Met Office do? Well, this is the Met Office forecast which you can get from the Met Office website, and this is the probabilities. Okay, so this is probability of temperatures being above normal during the period January, February and March, and this was issued this month. So the blue colours here showing us a below 20% chance of that happening, and the whites are where we're between a 20 and a well, I'll do it here, 20 and 40% chance of that happening. Go down to the probability of near normal temperatures. This is again a reminder throughout the whole of the winter period. Okay, so near normal temperatures, it goes for a 50 to 60 category. Look, 40 to 60% across much of the UK, much of England and Wales, and running into Northern Europe. And then for below normal, it calls that at 60% across Scotland and across Ireland. So what the Met Office is hinting at here, what the Met Office model is hinting at here, I should say, is that it wants to see temperatures around about normal, so we'll put an N in there across England and Wales, but it wants to see them colder than normal, so below normal across Scotland and Ireland. How does it see precipitation? Well, precipitation wise, it sees a 40 to 60% probability of above normal precipitation across much of the British Isles. Near normal, well, it goes for 20 to 40 for most places. Below normal, it's going for less than 20. So it looks like the Met Office model actually goes for precipitation being above normal. So we've got an AN in there, so above normal. So it's going for temperatures being around normal and quite wet as well. And then what does it do in terms of 500 millibar heights? Well, this is quite interesting because this is the probability of heights being above normal in this area, and look, it's going for 60 to 80% chance across much of Eastern Europe. Near normal, it goes for a 40 to 60% chance through the British Isles, and below normal, it goes for a 20% chance across Europe. So the overall pattern that it's seeing here, I think, through the winter is probably something like a ridge out here in Europe, and then because we're near normal heights across the British Isles, actually let me just change that, it's probably going to go for, we've got below normal heights there, above normal there, so we probably, it brings in the jet stream something like that and builds a ridge across Europe, and it's going pretty much for the same solution that we started off with earlier on with the Japanese model, this overall impression of this westerly flow coming in from the Atlantic, a stronger jet stream than normal through the remainder of the winter months, and the idea of it being wetter than normal because of it as that flow comes in, and probably temperatures around normal. But that doesn't stop there being cold interludes. What it does hint at is that we aren't going to get a real depth of winter. So it's hinting that although it will be wet, it'll be relatively mild, we're not going to see a real depth hit of winter too. But that's not to rule out the idea of these cold periods, and I said that there would be perhaps 3 or 4 colder periods during the winter months. We've seen one of them already. We may well see another one middle part of January, so there's probably another one to come, I would suspect, at the beginning of February or even the end of February. No, we'll go for the beginning at the moment, I think. But overall, the flow is going to be on this more sort of westerly flow. So hopefully that quick resume of the long-range charts that have just come in is useful for you. Remember, weatherweb.net is kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now, and keep the sun shining.